Warframe, a space-based looter shooter. For the longest time, I thought it was a Destiny clone with large and expensive DLCs that were needed to progress. Come to find out, this game came out 1 year earlier than Destiny 1 in 2013. On top of that, there isn't any paid expansions. There are microtransactions, but we will get to that later. Needless to say, I was surprised when I gave it a try 11 years later. This is TG with an episode of Late to the Party. Enjoy. So, how does the game feel? When I first loaded in, I was first impressed with the visuals. I was expecting a cheap free-to-play game look to it, more like a mobile game. Yet it truly has AAA graphics in my opinion. To make it even better, it has fantastic sound design with an enjoyable soundtrack. The combat is fast-paced and fluid. You can jump and flip through the map with ease and bring with you a flurry of melee combat. The melee combat is satisfying even if it is a little repetitive. Next up, the gunplay. It feels okay, but it is not my favorite part of this game by any means. However, I do appreciate the weapon variety they offer. It really can be anything from bows, throwing knives and guns, and any kind of gun, and you name it. So what did I miss out on? I missed out on the constantly expanding game with the dedicated community. Even just a few days ago when I was getting the footage for this game, there was a large lobby of players when I visited the first hub area. It was quite impressive to see. Also, the story has grown and continued over the years, not to mention their nearly uncountable number of Warframes. Warframes are basically the exosuits you get to wear that change what abilities and powers you have, and there's some pretty cool ones in there. It really has grown so much over the years, and I'm only getting into it now. But maybe that's a good thing, because as I see it now, it feels like a full game. I'm not too sure how it looked on release, but I like the product as it stands now. So, what does it do good? Well, despite me not being the biggest fan of gunplay, I'm still an overall fan of the combat. It feels fast-paced and exciting. Unlocking and using new abilities on different warframes feels satisfying, and it truly mixes up the gameplay a bit. The story doesn't come across as amazing, even though I have not played through it fully, but it is amazing to see that it is not locked behind a paywall or an enormous amount of expensive DLCs like some other games. The setting also feels like it was used to its fullest and really gives you a feeling of being in a small drop in a large universe. All in all, when you load into this game, you feel somewhat immersed in the world they have created, and you get to enjoy it with its good soundtrack, well voice acted characters, and a lot more, honestly. So, what do I not like about it? Some of the things I'm not a fan of. To get out of the way early, some of the microtransactions are far more expensive than they should be. Yes, I'm glad they don't make you pay for stories, expanded stories, or expansions, but it is insane to see the prices of these Prime Access Warframes, for example. Some of them being up to like $150, I believe, and on top of this, there's also the expensive cosmetics and quality of life changes. A lot of the quality of life changes you could look at as pay to win, but really it just saves you time because you can grind for anything that they have in there. You can even trade items for their premium currency, which I've never seen before in a free-to-play game like this. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, with that being said, though, the fact that they're all optional makes it a lot less of a concern to me. They're not really forcing you to buy anything, and yeah, I think that's overall a good thing, even though this is the not like section. But anyway, another aspect that I'm not in love with about this game is it comes across very grindy in nature and a bit repetitive. I haven't played a ton of it, but even going through some of the earlier missions, it starts to feel a bit repetitive with sprinting around, hitting chests, and doing these little puzzles and killing endless waves of enemies. It is fun, the gameplay, but at times I'm starting to feel like I've kind of done this before and I'm just doing it again. And to be fair, I've not reached an absurd amount of hours yet, but I can already see the makings of a system that will have you feel like you're running around doing a lot of the same things numerous times. Not that that can't be fun, and again, I haven't experienced everything, so I'm sure a lot changes as you progress and unlock new things. But yeah, at the the moment I could see how it could start to feel repetitive after playing for a long period of time. But yeah, next up, is it fun? Ultimately, that's all that really matters with a free-to-play game like this, and I'm here to say it is fun. I had a blast trying it out, if I'm being honest. I know I had some complaints, but ultimately I will likely be coming back to this game from time to time in the future. I feel like everything it has to offer with its vast world and large amount of missions and locations, the ability to try out all these new Warframes, I think all that adds into a really fun formula, and it's great as a content side of things. But as for combat, it's fun. There's definitely some repetitiveness to it, but the movement speed and just jumping and flipping around, and really all the weapons and the fast-paced nature of it really makes you feel like an awesome space ninja coming to collect rent. If you haven't tried it yet, I would recommend that you do. However, be prepared to spend hundreds of hours in this game if it does seem like your cup of tea. Now, for the future of the game. It's one of the last things I want to discuss, but I'm happy to report that there seems to be a bright future for it, and there's a lot of content ahead. To my knowledge, there's no news or announcement of a Warframe 2 or a sequel, so you don't have to really worry about a big reset coming anytime soon if you're putting in a lot of time and even money into it. Not that I would necessarily recommend that, but I know that's how some people go about it, and to each their own. I mean, a lot of us have full-time jobs or school or both, and it's not really feasible to spend hundreds of hours grinding for materials, but yeah, to each their own. They've also been making content for this game for the last 11 years, and they're still going strong at the moment. Like, there was new content just a few days ago with their 11-year anniversary, and it's just cool to see that they keep adding in stuff and haven't given up on it. By no means a dead game. And honestly, the future of it's held together by its constant expansion, but also the fact that you can play it with friends just always adds a lot of value to it, in my opinion. So if you're able to get some friends together and get playing it together, you'll ultimately be able to have fun with this game for a long time. And to me, it seems like this game has a very promising future in it, especially in comparison to similar games in the genre. Destiny 2. Anyway, with all that being said, I really did enjoy my time with Warframe, and I'll likely be revisiting it in the near future, honestly. I really did have fun, and yeah, let me know what you guys think of Warframe, and if you're still playing it, and maybe you stopped playing for a while and might want to hop back into it. But yeah, tell me what you don't like about it. Tell me what you think is good. Always happy to hear the feedback. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm happy to say that even though I was late for the party, I still got to experience it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.